What's up, guys, and welcome to an episode of the Speed Career Mode in MotoGP 20, and we are a solid 41 points ahead of Mazia, so we're looking good for the title. There's still, 4 or 5 races left, so there's still some ground, or there's still, some time for him to make some ground, but as of right now, I'm feeling very confident, and I feel like there's all the tools for us to go out there and end up winning this championship. And of course, that would mean going up to Moto2 as the world champions in Moto3, and that would be pretty much the ideal way to start off in Moto20. Because of course, previously we played in MotoGP 19, continuing in MotoGP 20. It would be great to win our first season. Having had a little bit of a difficult time as of late because of Silverstone, because of Spielberg, so we have had a bit of a rough patch, but hopefully in Aragon, which is a track that I really despise, as you can see, qualifying in 25th, hopefully we can actually pull something together. Now, in MotoGP 19, I actually won the Grand Prix here with Bubba, so hopefully we can repeat that. Based on qualifying, I don't really see how that's going to happen, but the important thing for me at this point is just keeping ourselves near Mazia in each race. As long as we don't, finish multiple positions behind him, let's just say, like, if he wins the race, as long as you don't finish like 10th or even worse, getting 0 points, that would be, that's pretty much all I can ask for. I'm not too worried about too much else, so let's just hope that here in Aragon, this is a track, like I said, I despise, can actually do something. Good thing is, in qualifying, of course, you have to just kind of rely on your own abilities to go around the track, whereas if you're racing, you can actually, you can just kind of use your opponents as a bit of a kind of like a shadow, like a time trial, kind of understand where you can improve, where you're doing poorly and stuff like that. So we do have at least that advantage. We can potentially in the race, as you can see, like already up to 13th position, which is having gained 9 positions already, or no, sorry, having gained 12 positions. So I mean, we're starting off really well, and it's important that we continue to do so, because dropping too many points here would definitely suck. But 13th position is actually way better than I would have expected at the start. Going around the inside, luckily we're able to hit the pass and not really make contact. This is a turn where if you get it wrong, you're going to be flying, just out in the you're going to be having a really bad day if you get this wrong, because you'll be flying into a wall or you're going to be in the dirt, and you don't really want either one of those to happen, as our teammate almost crashes us out. Now this is an important one because it's downhill, so you can't really see it, as our teammate almost crashes us out once again. If you really get the chicane wrong, you're pretty much fucking yourself over for this long straight, which is of course really important to get right. Of course, I got it wrong, made a big mistake, hit the dirt, ran it wide before that, and it makes things a bit difficult. We've unfortunately been having to deal with teammates trying to crash us out, which hasn't helped our cause at all. You would think that a teammate who basically has 0 points throughout the entire season, was completely irrelevant, would understand that it's important to not get in the way of the teammate that's actually able to do something. Well, we're chasing down Ogura at the moment, so 10th position. If it finished like this, I'm not going to say I'd be happy about it, but, considering I qualified 25th, I probably wouldn't be too demoralized. Mazia is sitting in 2nd position, so we have a long road to get to drive to wow, I can't even think, my brain is mush. We have a long road to go if we're going to actually get close to Mazia and not lose too many points, so we got to try our best at least. Now, at this point, it's a little bit more difficult because, yes, we are close to Ogura, we are close to Arenas as we dive around the inside of Ogura. Hopefully there he goes. I was worried he was going to cut into us and bang into us and kind of crash out, maybe both of us. Would have been technically my fault, but, at the same time, the game has to be a bit more careful, because I do dive in the situations where in real life I never would. Like even just racing go-karts, for example, I would never dive in certain situations, but at the same time, the AI, occasionally they don't really make the right decision, and they don't realize that once you're in, diving in, they kind of have to move over. It's just kind of the way it should be, but a lot of times AI will just go flying into you, and I don't want to crash people out. I don't want them to crash me out, but it just it's unfortunately it's something that happens in racing. As Bubba moves up to 8th position, which is actually pretty solid. Like I'd be really happy if I finished this race in 8th position. Barely managed to not cut through there and get a penalty, but that's pretty much the best way you can go through that turn. Actually come out of this one pretty well too. Maybe we can gain some ground going to the chicane. Has to get it right. Runs a little bit wide, but is able to get back online and really blew it there. That's a difficult corner for me. That chicane right there is basically the bane of my existence when it comes to Aragon. Like, My worst track is Silverstone. Then I would say there's probably this one, and then there's probably Spielberg. So I'm just not confident in any of these tracks. So I don't know exactly what it is, but even last season, having won in MotoGP 19, you would think I would be feeling a bit more confident and stuff like that. But the reality is that was a fluke, and that I've just never really been able to put together a series of decent laps. Like I'm able to do something like in free practice. I think I managed to get up to like 7th or something like that, which isn't great, but it isn't terrible either, especially for me as I run wide once again. But almost crashed out right there. Have to be careful. The important thing is not crashing. That would pretty much be devastating for our title hopes. As I would give Mazia, if he wins the race, 25 points on us, which would obviously be horrible because that would essentially not quite, but essentially cut down our lead by half, which of course would really suck. But like I just can't really put together a solid run of laps in this track, and I feel like if I can actually start to do that, and that will just come down to practice and practicing a lot, which I don't really have time to do. But I feel like once I can actually get a solid run of laps in this track, then maybe I can consistently be battling for podiums or at least top 5. But it's gonna be a while. Like if you notice, my favorite tracks on the calendar are all the classic European tracks. Some of the tracks from the Oceanic region, so let's just say like Phillip Island, somewhat Motegi. So these are all tracks those are the tracks I like. These new ones I honestly do not like at all. Like even in most of the one from the Americas and most of the ones from Asia. Well, not really most of them, but like Singapore and Motegi, not a fan. So this is like the only European track I could probably say, except for maybe Brno, where I'm not really a fan of. But even Brno, I don't dislike too much. Actually do pretty well in the first part of the chicane, completely blow the second part, hit the dirt once again. Are going to get a terrible drive, and then the people that are behind us, so in this case Lopez, have a good chance of actually gaining on us and getting themselves right back on our ass, which is far from what we want. There he is, Lopez. Luckily everybody else is kind of far, so all we have to do is not crash. And we shouldn't lose more than 1 or 2 positions, so that's at least there's that. I have to go down to power 1 because obviously our fuel is pretty low, and maybe just try to make sure we get the finish. That's basically the important thing, is finishing without losing too many positions. Like 8 position, honestly, we started in 25th, so we gained a lot. And if you would have asked me before the race, would you be happy with this? Having gained 17 positions, my math could be wrong there. Probably is, but I think it's right. Then I probably would have said yeah. I would have signed on the dotted line and be like, all right, fine, I'll take 8th position. Question is, can we actually finish the race in 8th position? Not going to be easy because, of course, between pressure building up, knowing that Mazia is really going to gain a lot of points out of this, plus the fact that we have Lopez on our ass, it's not the easiest thing in the world. Lopez is 0.4. Vietti is he's 3 seconds ahead of us. There's no way in hell we're catching him unless we just have these amazing laps, which obviously, given how we've performed, isn't very likely. That's for damn sure. As we come down to the first chicane, actually come out of this one pretty well. I'm actually pretty happy with that. Got on the gas a little bit too hard, a little bit too early, but overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that we came out of there. Going around this long, looping left hand, able to get through it pretty well. I think we pulled a little bit of a gap over Lopez. There you go, almost actually over a 10th. Ran really wide here. Oof, don't want to lose any ground here. That would be devastating. Oh, might get a penalty. Okay, no penalty there, which is very good. All right, second chicane. This is where a lot of things for us are going to be decided if we go through this correctly, and we actually come out of it pretty well. Like for my standards, that's actually pretty well done, and we gained a solid second over 7th position. So I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think we're going to have enough time, but that's promising. You know what I mean? Like that's actually a good start for hopefully getting a better result next season. Of course, hopefully we'll be in Moto2, but like it's going to be a different bike. But hopefully we can carry over some momentum into this final lap, and who knows, maybe even into next season. We gained a lot right there, man. We went from like 3.3 back to 1.8, so we gained a lot. Can we keep it up and catch Mino? I mean, look, it feels like we're close. We're probably further behind than it seems, but it definitely feels like we're getting closer. It's just, do we push as hard as we can, go balls to the wall, or do we just try to get to Mino and just try, or just like, keep it nice and calm. But they're right there, him and Antonelli are right there, but we have to worry because we also have only 0.003 fuel left, so we're very close. We're very, very close to running out of fuel, which is devastating because it's also on my mind right now. But we managed to get past, who the fuck was it? Anyway, we got past. All right, now we got past Antonelli too, so we're up to 6th position. Now, can we hold it? Can we hold it? Go down to power 0 just to try to not run out of fuel, which of course would be horrible for us. See if we can actually come across. Like if we finish 6th, man, that would be huge for our championship. That would be massive, especially considering how bad things were going. Like even in the race, I wasn't feeling that confident, but all of a sudden, man, we really hit it, and we were able to gain a lot of ground. Don't make a mistake here. Don't make a mistake. Come out of it perfectly. Not perfectly because we hit the alligator strips and bumped a little bit, but we went through that turn about as well as I've ever gone through it. So I'm happy about that. Last chicane. If we can get through here, just keep it slow. No need to go fast. No need to put, too much on it. Oh, barely didn't touch the dirt. We're 1.8 seconds back, so there's no way in hell we're getting up to 5th. Question is, can we come through here unscathed and finish in 6th position? We have a decent gap, but if you look in the HUD on the bottom left, they're gaining very, very quickly. Now, I think we're gonna pull away from them right here because they hit the brakes a little bit too early there, and they must be having tire/fuel problems as well because there's no way in hell I just gained all that ground out of nowhere. But regardless, Fojo wins, which is good because at least Mazia doesn't get the 25 points, and there you go, a solid 6th position. I'm actually surprisingly happy about that. Mazia finished 2nd, Suzuki finished 3rd, so nothing too devastating there. Only 4 positions behind Mazia, so not terrible. Not terrible at all. He is 27 points back, which isn't bad for him. He definitely gained a lot, but with I think like 4 races left, or maybe 3, something like that. All we really need is a decent result in 2 of the next ones, and we should be fine. Hopefully, we won't have to go to Valencia and have a shootout to win the title, because that would be pretty rough, and I don't want to necessarily have to go through that and have that kind of pressure. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comment section down below what I can improve on, what you thought of my performance, and overall what you think of this series, guys. And I'm just extremely happy with how it's going out. I'm sorry that this came out pretty late because I had some time issues, but things are getting back to normal, and I'm having these coming out twice a week once again. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.